second one in this best of 7 is ready to get underway. King of the Hill, here we come. Who will be wearing the crown? Let's find out.
Spawning in on the left side, it is going to be MarineLorD playing as the Abbasids in blue, and on the right side, it is PuppyPaw playing as the Rus in red. This is a very favorable civilization matchup over here for PuppyPaw, and looking at those boar spots, this is what you were talking about. Bit of a split objectives over here. They're not on the hill, which means that the Rus can't prioritize the middle of the hill and the boars at the same time.
Also, the northern one isn't really near a ramp. Like this, if you were to flip these around, like PuppyPaw maybe considers it because it's sort of on the way. I feel that this board to the north is really out of the way, away from your objective. So, kind of curious to see if you'll even bother with it. Alternative-wise, maybe we see a secondary TC on both sides. I think both sides have their own economical benefits going there. Of course, MarineLorD playing the Abbasids will have the fresh foodstuffs, giving you a 50% discount on villagers. But on the other side, the Rus, they get a more flexy economical benefit, right? It's the amazing Golden Gate that allows you to just insta-buy into a second TC without even going onto a stone line.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Although, personally, I would love to see PuppyPaw playing an aggressive boar build over here. And the reason why is because MarineLorD's berry distribution is more than concerning. Look at that. All of the berry patches are to the south. So, in the event that PuppyPaw builds a proxy base on that southern boar and he attacks from this direction, he could cut off MarineLorD from all accessible berries, and that leaves the food eco of the Abbasid player very much vulnerable. So, this could definitely be part of the thought process over here for PuppyPaw.
You know, I absolutely love that you highlight that because it's not just the berries, not just the boar play. There's the free relics down there as well. Like, actually, if you think about this, there's an insane amount of value on this south side of the map. This is everything that should be played for because even if you're going for a boar rush or thinking later in a castle, everything that both players want at any stage in the game is down here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And the Rus are the perfect civilization to establish a forward foothold with that. And even if they don't play very aggressive, they could just set up some walls over there and already have a decent value from that southern part. Looks like we do have a bit of a lack of sheep under the down center of PuppyPaw. Not going to be a major delay though. Let's take a look at PuppyPaw's perspective though, see how he's doing with the bounty, because you can see MarineLorD taking down quite a lot of wolves. I don't think he's at tier 2 yet. Actually, 235, yes, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's respectable. I think most of the time at this phase in the game, 3 minutes in, you're looking between 200 and 300. Like, that feels pretty cozy. If you're above that, then something has gone wrong. You should probably all chat to your opponent and ask them if their mouse is working correctly, because you're basically just accelerating out of control at that stage. So overall, content if you at least get that second unlock, especially when you're up against a skilled player like MarineLorD. Like, he's been seen as the micro god in a lot of people's eyes here in Age of Empires 4. So you know he's going to be playing some cheeky shenanigans just to get the last hit on deers or wolves.
And hold on, KP, look at the amount of scouts that PuppyPaw has on the overlay. That is 4 scouts, and this is a scout rush coming in here in Dark Age. The attack rate of scouts has been increased, so they're much more dangerous against those villagers than what they used to be. Well, assuming that we are not thinking about the dark days of animation canceling, but this could be more than concerning here for MarineLorD.
It's frustrating because it can kind of creep up on you a little bit faster with the in-outs compared to where it used to be the attack speed of an old man with arthritis, right? You was like, I'm swinging! You're like, yeah, bro, whatever. And then finally you connect for the most abysmal amount of damage. I like that it's a lot faster. Another cool thing to think about with the change to scouts, actually, is the effect on boars. You can actually take down boars much easier with scouts now than the previous ones. Yes, your damage got halved, but boar's armor was already at 4, which meant that even when your damage was up at 4 with scouts, you weren't doing any more than 1 per strike. So overall, like, this has been a big buff for the Rus playing towards those boars. Interested to see if he's going to do that. But in the meantime, one cool thing I love that's happening from PuppyPaw here is, yes, he just lost a scout. Yes, he's not really gaining much overall. He's not killing villagers off. But notice that MarineLorD only has 2 scouts, and they've both been sitting here for the last minute, hiding everything that PuppyPaw has been doing on his side of the map.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you see, PuppyPaw is only using 2 scouts right now out of the 3 he has. Actually, never mind. I spoke too soon. For a brief moment, it looked like that the 3rd scout is going to get surrounded. But yeah, that's exactly it. So MarineLorD is playing blind, and he also had to micro those villagers a lot. So he had to pull a lot of weak villagers back, and it looks like PuppyPaw is moving up with only 5 vills, not 8 though.
No, I think there's maybe a delay, possibly more come along, where he's not sure of, maybe a little bit hesitant about this play. But like I said, it comes back to the scout pull. The fact that he knows that MarineLorD has probably only built 2 scouts because Abbasid players are greedy mother duckers. They don't like to go for more. They want their villagers. If you have both up there, it means that he's playing blind vision-wise, and that means that you should be able to fully get away with this board play without being seen. My only concern is with only 5 villagers and no scouts yet, there's a risk this ball will just rip you apart. So he does need to be careful, and it looks like as a result of that, he's going to build the hunting cabin first while he waits for more reinforcements.
Yeah, he's bringing 1 scout in as well. That scout is damaged, so you gotta be careful about that as well. You don't want to lose your scout over here. But so far, so good for PuppyPaw. Everything is lining up according to his plans. MarineLorD is going to play 2 town centers as well. And as you said, the lack of information is concerning for MarineLorD.
Oh, the scout may sacrifice himself to the great God Hotep. Nice switch over just in time.
Oh, calculated. Look at that. 2 HP.
He knew it. He knows what's cooking. It's some good old steak on the barbecue. And straight away, he's going to stake a foothold here with the archery range next to the boar. So it looks like we are going to that proxy base. And the cool thing about this, actually, is because you're up against the Abbasids, you don't even need to go for the wooden fortress, right? Because how often... If you haven't seen any sort of military buildings be built by an Abbasid player already, you know he's not going to be present in the feudal age.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And this is the very old school proxy archer boar build that we have seen from the Rus. This sort of decreased in popularity recently, but this works perfectly against the Abbasids. In fact, I call this build the Abbasid killer because it was specifically designed to deal with an Abbasid 2 TC build, and I don't think that MarineLorD has spotted this just yet. Now, he should anticipate something like this, and now he has visual confirmation on those ranges as well. But what is he going to do against that?
Well, he has the vision at the worst possible time. Look how much stone he's gathered. Even if he transitions into military force now, it's wasted effort. You've just spent a bunch of time gathering 350 resources that you now can't use. So you have to realistically go for the TC. But you're not going to be comfortable with it because this free archery range is already halfway towards your base, which means, first of all, you do need to get the stables down.
And what's worse is that your berries will be cut off, and this is something we talked about. Oh, look at that. He's moving towards those hunts out there, which is fine, but it's not berries, right?
No. It disgusts me. I mean, look at it. You can even, if you zoomed in, you probably be able to see the flies just hovering over the carcasses. You know, it's 5-day-old meat, right? You want those juicy berries fresh off the vine, but just not an option. So not really getting the full efficient value he's looking for. TC is at least going to be away from the front, so he does invest the stone in the end. But that means you've only got 1 stable. 1 stable against 3 archery ranges. Good luck with those numbers. I mean, I'm not a mathematician. I haven't got a major in it, but those sound like Rus favored numbers to me.
Yeah, this is not looking good for MarineLorD right now. Siege engineering coming in already. And the concern is that you have that second town center on the hunt right now, but it would take a lot of time to drag villagers from your starting town center towards that position if you want to add some more on that food. So you either need to spend your villagers right next to your starting town center on sheep or just other resources. So you can't just send 15 villagers to food if you need to, unlike in the case of you having berries.
Berries that are just a distant dream at this point, as PuppyPaw is going to make you fight tooth and nail for it. Looks like we are at least getting a second stable, so we are going to start to ramp up the horseman numbers. But PuppyPaw, look at the positioning, the scout vision. He sees all of this coming. He could easily try to transition, set up 1 or 2 racks in the proxy base, and all of a sudden you have a solution that's matching the quantity. But for now, it's just going to remain only on archers. Remember that the Rus can afford additional military infrastructure easier than other civs due to the wooden fortress influence, giving them an additional 20% wood on drop-off.
PuppyPaw does have to respect those horsemen though, because as you said, he didn't build a wooden fortress on the boar, so that leaves those villagers exposed, but he's got a critical mass of archers. He's grabbing the archer upgrade, and right now it's only 3 horsemen with 2 stables only producing, so PuppyPaw has a massive advantage when it comes to numbers, and I think he's got the critical mass to just micro back and forth and pick off those incoming horsemen. And of course, those horsemen are much bigger investments over here for MarineLorD than those individual archers are for PuppyPaw.
And I'm worried about what happens if neither player engages. What if we just keep building, right? We've all been in that situation. I don't want to blink first. Pop cap, let's go. Zoot, zoot. Here's the issue, though. MarineLorD only has those deer. Once the deer are gone, you don't have food anymore. And if you transition into farms, you're going to be exposed. We already highlighted how flimsy it is on this map. Even if he heads northeast, you can't gather on the boar. The next deer is close to the Rus base. Overall, this is going to be a situation where whatever MarineLorD wants next, he's going to have to fight tooth and nail for it.
That's exactly it. PuppyPaw is grabbing the Hardened Spearman upgrade, though, dropping the second Rex. You get the feeling that he wants this engagement very soon. MarineLorD is building up his horseman numbers right now, but he's yet to do anything with it. There is quite a lot of exposed villagers potentially on the wood line of PuppyPaw, though there's only one tower protecting them. I actually wonder if he has double broad axe, because that's a big question right now for the Roos. But PuppyPaw is probably getting ready for that push.
No, he doesn't. It's not there.
That's ugly.
A little bit awkward. Yeah, because we can tell by the top, right? We've got that. We can see, for example, MarineLorD, he's actually going into the
I missed out on that.
Right, and I said, I got you covered, bud. Don't worry. Sometimes it's easy to be absorbed in the info, right? There's just so much to digest. I love this tool. It's so much easier, right? Before you had to click on individual things, figure out the numbers, switch tabs. Now it's just all on one screen. So shout out to the overlay folks that put that together for us.
And the archers are now moving in, and if you take a look at the villager numbers, only 5 villagers lead right now from MarineLorD Horseman, looping around for the interception though, and this is exactly what PuppyPaw has to respect over here.
Well, he's going to give it due respect as he arrives with the forces. This is where MarineLorD needs to peel away quickly. Does stab down a few troops here. Some heavy damage being done to 1 or 2 of these horsemen, but overall reasonable trade for MarineLorD. Question is whether he can maneuver towards PuppyPaw's base, and oh no, he's going to turn around for fight. Needs to be careful. That was an auto aggro by the looks of it. He didn't intend to go in. So not a nice little trade at the end of that to even it up. Actually goes the way of PuppyPaw slightly resource-wise. And now PuppyPaw will start to pay attention to the base. I think he just wants to posture himself on the high ground. I think he realizes that MarineLorD can't actually dive deep into PuppyPaw's primary base because horsemen are too slow at killing off villagers.
Yeah, that's exactly it, but PuppyPaw has to respect the potential of those counterattacks. MarineLorD's forces, though, getting intercepted, and now this is a huge mass of forces building up here for PuppyPaw. Tower goes up to protect those villagers just in time to prevent the horsemen from killing them. And now is the time for PuppyPaw to push. As you said, he can't wait forever, because slowly but surely MarineLorD is building up a villager lead in this one.
MarineLorD, you can see how angry he is about the berries. Don't touch our sacred food. PuppyPaw is going to look to touch something else, a bit more aggressively with the Rams being built up now. And I don't think he knows about that second TC still. I'm pretty sure it still hasn't been scouted out. We'll have to see, though. It depends on where the Ram moves. Yeah, it is. He's going in.
Oh, he's going for that.
On the scout formation. It's going all in. And look, the villagers on the wood line as well.
Oh, that is a disaster for MarineLorD.
It's because he's distracted. He's too busy burning down the wooden fortress and attacking the proxy base. Little does he know he's being attacked in his own base.
Yeah, that's it.
He's going to move away. Oh no! This is worrying. You can't even get an eco trade anymore because you went for the proxy base instead of Roos's home base. And while that's happening, the Roos are going even deeper, chasing the entire wood line away. Wow, yeah. What a play out, Puppy.
What a play. MarineLorD was so focused on cleaning up that prox that he didn't even notice those archers hitting his lumberjacks. You see all the villagers having to migrate out there, and the exposed town center is now under attack. If that goes down, the 10 villagers garrisoned within also go down.
My goodness, and now switch up coming out. MarineLorD prepped himself this into the archers, also got the projectile damage increase. A fight about to commence, but the TC has been lost. PuppyPaw will stand his ground, trying to pepper down the horsemen one by one. This flood through should overwhelm him, but value going to be found if he can at least finish the TC, target out the villagers. Instead, he's going up the horsemen. He needs to force the garrison. One ram alone might not be good enough. It looks like MarineLorD might come in clutch to keep it alive. Hammers out once again to keep the repair crew going, and it's good enough. The ram cannot kill it off. The town center will sustain. PuppyPaw will not remain, as his army is going to be slain.
What a heartbreaker for PuppyPaw. His spearmen were taken down by the tower, or the town center rather, and it was such a small detail, but it was so impactful. You see villagers now rioting, surrounding all those archers, and the army of PuppyPaw just vanished. Not enough spearmen to deal with all those horsemen, and as you said, how long does PuppyPaw wait to make this push? If he waits too long, MarineLorD is going to have the critical mass of horsemen to overpower him, and the lack of spearmen in that army was one of the main concerns. He lost all the archers now because he didn't have the sufficient amount of spearmen to protect them with, and now MarineLorD is in a pretty good position here, and I think that is even an understatement.
Honestly, this is cruise mode now for him. Like, he's feeling dominant at this stage. PuppyPaw threw away any lead he had now. And you can see it in the military count. Like, MarineLorD's ahead, but keep in mind, some of the things he's investing in are more pricey. The amount of horsemen he still has out in the field is concerning. PuppyPaw with only 3 spears to defend against this. Yes, he has the proxy base, but he has no way of containing MarineLorD anymore.
And MarineLorD does have an archer range up, so you can't just take good engagements with 2 or 3 spearmen in your army anymore. You need to have enough spearmen to deal with those horsemen, even though they're getting picked off left and right by the archers of MarineLorD as well. And let's not forget, MarineLorD is playing the Abbasid, so he's got the opportunity to drop rams right away, and he could clean that proxy base up really fast. And for a brief moment, we could see that PuppyPaw is actually very heavy on the berries, which is not ideal at all for the Rus here. Obviously, they depleted that one boar already, and the other one on the north is exposed. But being so heavy on the berries obviously hurts the eco of the Rus here.
Yep, and those berries that you couldn't even deplete are now going to be the upside for MarineLorD. You can see he's gaining ground in line with moving the villagers forward for the berries. And with so many horsemen remaining and no spearmen to protect, PuppyPaw needs to be careful about this. It is a fragile state of the game. Yes, the base is chunky and hard to get through, but if MarineLorD at any stage chooses to build 1 or 2 rams, all of this will disappear.
That's exactly it, and MarineLorD is given a lot of time over here. You see, he's banking up food, he's banking up gold, so he might be contemplating going into Castle Age over here. And the more important thing is that he's now up by 15 villagers, so his eco lead is slowly growing, and you see he's getting away with proxy bases like that because the mobility is not there for PuppyPaw. His army is exclusively infantry, so he can't really punish MarineLorD for an expansion on the north towards those hunts.
No, and that's why we start to see the walls in the center from PuppyPaw. He needs to wall the north side, though. The north side is still vulnerable. In fact, we can see MarineLorD is starting to shift out there. I believe he's gathering on the deer. So doing everything he can to delay the farm transition. Something that we see the highest level pros always do, just because of how weak it can leave you. Especially when you consider it's 75 wood for a structure that only has 300 health. Like, yes, it's infinite food, but it's kind of a little bit of a bait when you're in these neck and neck type matches where just the smallest side investment can make the difference.
Yeah, as you said before, it's all about getting the best value out of your investments, and farms, they don't give you any immediate impact. It takes some time until you really get the benefit from those farms, and that leaves you exposed in that time frame. The concerning thing here for PuppyPaw is that he still only has 4 spearmen in that army. He's got 40 archers, which is great, but I mean, MarineLorD has 30, and MarineLorD also has 18 horsemen that PuppyPaw has no answer to.
Well, I mean, I thought it was the pew-pew meta, Lida. You just build archers, right? Archers just win game. Wait a second. No. Archers won't win game. That's too many horsemen. He needs to get out of here. If he gets around the backside, he could actually kill off the entire army of PuppyPaws. But instead, he goes to the front line. Archer's trading out for the moment. It seems MarineLorD a little bit hesitant. I wonder if this is because he feels like he's scaling better, so he doesn't need to force a game-ending fight right now.
That's exactly it. He knows he's ahead and he's going to play this one smart. He has seen what happened to the army of PuppyPaw before. He doesn't want to risk losing his entire army and suddenly giving back the control to PuppyPaw. But it looks like now he's committing to this one. He's realizing that he's got the critical mass. He's up against 40 archers though, plus a wooden fortress, so he's got to be careful with this. But it looks like he's now fully committed. Might actually be a bit of an overextension here from MarineLorD though.
Yeah, a bit is an understatement. At least he has a decent amount of archers to back him up. The horsemen all but wiped at this stage. Choke point holding for the moment for PuppyPaw. And here's the concern. The reason MarineLorD, he was hesitant, he was paranoid, is look at his income. It was down to about 250 food per minute before. He was missing the food required to feel confident about making that play. And because he didn't make that play, he missed the golden opportunity. Yes, he'll still take decent trades here, but he had an opportunity to wipe PuppyPaw's army had he chosen to wrap around with the horses.
And now it's gonna be an even trade of archers. At the end of the day, both players will lose most of their armies, so MarineLorD still has to feel happy about that one. He's sitting at 78 villagers as opposed to 54. And the good news is that he's gonna be able to secure food for himself. On the other side, one has to wonder what exactly is going on in PuppyPaw's mind, because he's going to lose his own army as well, so he has to play a lone game over here to be able to come back into this one, because he's not gonna have the potential to push the enemy either.
No, but he's at least locking him into this awkward state. The question is, who's going to blink first? Who's going to make that tech up? And MarineLorD, well, he doesn't make a tech up, but he does blink first in a certain way. The farms are in mass swing, and this is the perfect way to do it as the Abbasids, because PuppyPaw doesn't hold the midfield anymore. He's not on the aggressive, so he can't punish you for this heavy investment.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I get the feel that PuppyPaw needs to go into Castle Age here, though. If he gets into Castle, there's still a chance, because as you said, MarineLorD is still in the middle of that tech switch. MarineLorD just lost his army, so he can't really punish, although he's got some archers now coming in. And more importantly, if you get to Castle Age, we could get that perfect high trade house in the corner, which would obviously compensate for a lot of that villager deficit, and the relics on the south as well. So there is a lot of value in a potential Castle Age up here for PuppyPaw, and he might have the window for it right now. I don't think he's gonna have the window in 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, yeah, that window is closing quickly, and it might actually catch his hand on the way down because MarineLorD is moving out, investing in Rams this time around. The Archer Battalion is strong enough to take out PuppyPaw and take out the defenses. After that, Proxy base will be gone. And if you look at the layout, all those relics are going to be exposed, so PuppyPaw won't even have that as a solid backup option. He's going to need to change the script here because relying heavily only on Archers is not going to win in this game.
And oh no, PuppyPaw had 6 villagers idle in that tower for so long. He already had the weaker eco, and having 6 villagers idle like that definitely hurts. He's still trying to contain his opponent with those berries, but you get the feel that slowly but surely MarineLorD is capitalizing on that eco lead, very similar to what he does with the French when he's playing that civ. Just playing defensive enough to be able to capitalize on your eco lead and then unleash hell. I mean, looking at 90 villagers after a 20 minutes game, you wouldn't expect him to have been under such a level of pressure. His eco is looking really good for a player that has been under so much attack.
It's not just the villager count, it's the fact that he's achieved the farm transition under that pressure, right? The fact that he actually balanced this perfectly. This is not easy to do, folks. The Abbasids is one of the biggest sufferers when it comes to food balance due to the way that they want to build their base and what they need to rely upon. Like, berries are hotly contested in this map. You can't go pro scouts. I've never actually, I don't remember the last time I saw an Abbasid player go pro scouts. Maybe that is meant to be the next level play, but realistically, this is one of the biggest sufferers on King of the Hill, and MarineLorD is not making it look that way. He totals up effectively and moves out when he needs to. This move out may be a little bit ambitious, but the beautiful thing is now with the outpost in place, with defenses down, it's not going to be a quick turnaround where PuppyPaw can breach the base.
And behind this one, MarineLorD is AJ to Castle Age, also has 1200 food in the bank, so the moment he gets up, he can start popping out some Lancers. If he drops some barracks, he can start going for men-at-arms. And PuppyPaw is just forever stuck in Feudal Age. If he stops making army, he's going to get overrun. If he doesn't stop making army, he's going to be stuck in Feudal forever. So right now, it's just a pick your poison scenario for him. He's slowly getting outnumbered in terms of villagers. There's already a big villager lead for MarineLorD, and he has just no hope to go out to Castle Age.
No, you take that gold, turn it into wood, get some more Rams, and just go. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, that was great. I guess I'm 2 games down because realistically, you're just getting outboomed in every way. Tech up advantage, eco advantage, military advantage, barely there for PuppyPaw. Only 10 between them, but not for long. MarineLorD, the production rates are going to catch up. And then on top of that, he will also have the quality per unit compared to what PuppyPaw is fielding.
That's exactly it. I mean, 53 archers over here for PuppyPaw. It's now or never. If MarineLorD grabs the upgrades, that numbers advantage isn't going to show. A couple of villagers will get picked off over here in the middle, but PuppyPaw has about 30 seconds to do tremendous damage over here, or this game probably falls into the hands of MarineLorD.
I think he's got like 1 wood fortress to defend that. There's going to be a lot of villagers on the wood line as well for PuppyPaw, being over 1,000 wood per minute. So find the defense for MarineLorD, meanwhile being raided in his base. The horsemen are jumping the wood line. PuppyPaw, uh-oh. He's not responding. He won't have textiles either. He's going to lose a bunch of villagers here, a bunch of archers on the front. Both trades not going the way of PuppyPaw. This is not effective for him. And look at the retreat. So many villagers peeled back, forced away. It means your wood is going to be grinding down to income 0, which means you won't even be able to maintain this count of archers in the coming minutes.
That's exactly it. Yeah, he taps out. GG is called. MarineLorD takes a 2-0 lead. That critical 1 fight where he could wipe out PuppyPaw's army, that was essentially a game-winning fight for him. Once again, beautiful defense by MarineLorD, and we have known him for a long time of being a very good aggressive player. Recently, he has been showcasing how good of a defender he is.
Absolutely. And I love to see that, right? It's an all-round type player. Like, we talk about people who the meta is their meta type thing, right? MarineLorD clearly has taken this to heart. He's looking to make sure that he's a player that's able to flex to whatever the meta may be and not be at a disadvantage where other specialists might be. And I think this is really important to him, deep in his heart, right? Like, obviously, he gave up StarCraft to come full-time to Age of Empires 4. And also, MarineLorD is still, despite how dominant he is and how respected he is in the community, he's still yet to win a single S-tier event in Age of Empires 4. And I respect the man's grind, and I respect the way he's adjusting to give himself the best opportunity to do that here with Golden League.